Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wealthy Women Summit. Learn what it takes to make consistent 10K months in your business. And I just wanted to kind of briefly share with you guys why I decided to do this summit. And it was because I really wanted to get together 20 amazing women experts that were able to share their story about how they've been able to create consistent 10K months and give you any tips and advice on how you could do it as well in your business. So today I'm really excited because I have Tanya Perry on the line and she's going to share with you her story. So let me introduce you to her. She is a self-love catalyst, abundant life and business coach who teaches, empowers, and supports healers, coaches, and those ready to break through their fear and self-doubt, heal illness or trauma so they can step into self-confidence, have a healthy, balanced body and lifestyle to fully live their purpose and create the abundant life of ultimate freedom that they were born to live. So Tanya, I'm super excited to speak with you today. How are you?
Hi, Brandy. Awesome.
Great.
Super excited. Super excited to be here. Talking about making money and abundance and all that good stuff. How does it get better than that?
Right? I think I'm biased, but I love it. So I'll jump right in. I want to ask you, so what's your backstory and how did you come to do what it is that you're doing today?
Yeah, so I have a kind of an interesting, I think, backstory. Originally, I was an occupational therapist, so working in the medical field and worked in a variety of settings. And one of the things that I noticed over the 13 years that I did that is I really hated working for other people. I I felt like I knew the best way to do things, and I didn't like to have to put in a slip when I wanted time off. And
Mhm.
yeah, so that just always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I really did enjoy helping people, right? Helping people to heal. And then I had I guess, a wake up call or a dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it. And I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Mm.
And at the time, of course, it was devastating. And part of me thought, oh my God, my life is over. I work with people like this, they end up in wheelchairs. You kind of get the drift. And for about 3 years, I went down that path, and I actually couldn't work very much during that time. And I really started looking at alternative ways of healing. And one of the things that, I was able to kind of see and shift into was that, oh, this is actually my opportunity
Mm.
to move into, yes, not only learning how to heal myself and then helping others to do it too, not just normal OT type activities and things, but really moving into being able to do what I wanted to do fully and not being under the thumb of somebody else. So I would say after a few years on my healing path, I moved into being an occupational therapist to a coach. Really for that reason, I just felt like I was being held down in the Western medicine field, and there was more that I was here to do. So it was back in 2010, I actually quit the hospital and started my own business.
Yeah.
And originally it was brick and mortar, and then virtual. Yay!
Yay.
Um, so I really started down the virtual path in 2000, gosh, when was it? 12, and then in 2013, I shut my brick and mortar OT business and went fully virtual.
Wow.
So here I am today. In a nutshell, that's why I'm here. And
Mhm.
really, it was because I hated working for other people.
Yeah. I think a
And
lot of us can
really,
relate.
yeah, and really just wanted freedom. But obviously, the path that I took, really, helping people to heal, and then so many people saw what I did in my business virtually and how fast I did it from brick and mortar, OT to a virtual coach, that I started to get asked, can you teach me, how did you do it so fast? And can you teach me how to
Hmm.
do that? And reluctantly, I got into some business coaching as well. So, so I do both today, and I love both, and I love the variety. So,
Hmm.
here I am.
That's incredible. I think so many people will be able to relate to, not having or not wanting to work for somebody else. And it's incredible that you were able to take like something that at some point was hard and turn it into a success, right? With the illness that you talked about. So that's awesome. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do believe whatever your coaching flavor is,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing a lot of people listening to this are coaches or want to be. I do believe that really looking at what have been your biggest struggles, right? And of course, mine was a
Yes.
chronic illness. And then I guess you could say one struggle was not wanting to work for the man and wanting to move into my own business. But really, I believe that you're here to coach from a place of, what you struggled with and then how did you get to the other side?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
So
think that's incredible that you were able to do that and can teach others. So, I guess my next question is how did you make your first 10K and then how did you start doing that consistently?
that is a great question. Inquiring minds want to know.
Right?
So, as I said, I shut my occupational therapy brick and mortar doors in January 2013, and I was able to, I think I hit my first 10K in under a year, my
Yes.
first 10K month. So, what were the keys to that? Really, the biggest thing that stands out for me, one of the biggest things was that I believed in myself. I don't know how else to say it. I had a strong belief in myself that I had something of value. I had something of worth and that
Mm-hmm.
I really desired to share it with other people. So I think that's probably the first thing that people want to tap into is really believing in yourself and also what is it that you have to offer? And do you really believe in that? Right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
again getting down to what are you here? What's your purpose? What are you here to share with your clients? I think the next thing was that I really got clear not only on what I wanted my business to look like, but what I desired in my life. As I said before, freedom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I I wanted to have a flexible schedule. I wanted to have a lot of time off. I really learned from my illness that I was not here to work hard. That was
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that drove me to, I believe, my illness was, you know, working a lot, beating myself up if I didn't work hard enough. So again, I think really getting clear on what you desire, and a lot of people do desire balance and freedom. So what does
Mm-hmm.
that mean to you? What does that look like for you? And then how can you mold your business to that, right? To
Mm-hmm.
fit into that. So many people look at, okay, this is what I want my business to look like, and they forget about the rest of their life. And I think that is really one of the things that takes us down or
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even get us started for a lot of people. Next, I would say, which was crucial, was getting support. So many people try to do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't work.
Right.
Whether it's healing, well, it can work, but it can take a lot longer,
Yeah.
right? It can take a lot longer. So, whether it was my illness or growing my business, I always had support. I always had a
Mm-hmm.
coach. I had a coach for healing, several, and I also always have had a business coach, right? So I think it's really important to get that support and not try to do it alone. Don't be one of those people that just tries to. I love free stuff. Don't get me wrong, but free stuff can only take you so far.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you find that person that you really resonate with. Um, do you like that person? Do they have the kind of business that excuse me, the kind of business model or the business that you want to have? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important. It has been essential for me, to not be
Yeah.
that superwoman that thinks I have to do it alone,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
to
think that's important.
find your person and get that support. And know that that person may change over time. I haven't stayed with the same coach,
Mm-hmm.
in my business's lifetime. And I would say the other big thing I want to share with you guys, speaking. Speaking virtually, get out there and be seen and be heard. I think that is very key.
Yeah.
And not be seen and be heard and be somebody you think you should be. Be who you are,
Yeah.
right? Be who you are. Don't try to be like your coach. Don't try to be like some other successful people that you see. Like, just be you and show up and be authentic and be real and be vulnerable. Right? Don't hide your skeletons in the closet. I air as many of mine as possible when I'm working with my clients or speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, in a nutshell, those are really the things I think were really important for me to get to my 10K.
Awesome. I love it. And from that, like I guess and related to that, who was the person that you had to become in the process to create those 10K months?
Yeah, that's again a great question. That was actually a question my first coach asked me. Tanya, who do you need to become, or who do more of whatever those things are, so
Mm-hmm.
that you can have this business that you really want, and not just business, it's your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Again, back to your business is to fit into your life, not your life into your business. One of the things that I struggled with, and I believe actually was one of the reasons that caused me to have the multiple sclerosis, was that I really had a tough inner critic that kicked my ass. Let's just put it that way. I
Mm-hmm.
really was hard on myself. So I think one of the things that was crucial for me, and I think for a lot of my clients, is really that liking who you are. So
Yeah.
again, it comes back to being authentic. So I would mentally beat up on myself a lot, and then, of course, physically push myself too hard. So I think for me, really, that liking who I was and not beating up on myself a lot, being too hard on myself, which I know a lot of people are, a lot of people struggle with that. And I think that really helps us to fully show up and speak and be heard, right? If you don't like yourself, you're going to have a really hard time wanting to be seen.
Right.
And people have bullshit meters. If you're not being your authentic self, you're not going to attract your divine client.
Yeah.
I call it a divine client. Some people call it your ideal client, but whatever you want to call it, we're all energy. And if you're not being yourself, people are going to pick up on that and they're not going to want to work with you. Right?
Yeah.
So really it's liking who you are and knowing you're not here for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You're here for
The
the
people
people
you're,
that
yeah.
resonate with you. Right? I don't
Yeah.
want to work with everybody, and I sure as hell hope everyone doesn't want to work with me. I don't have enough time in my schedule.
Right?
Yes, I have a group program, but
I think that's incredible though that you're sharing that because I think it's a really key point to be authentic and to tap into who you really are and bringing that forward because I think that that is something that's talked about, but it's also something that's very difficult. And it seems like all of us as new coaches tend to go through this. It seems like this phase of trying to really figure out who it is that we are and how we can express that online at
yeah,
times. So I
yes,
think
and
it's
it's so
incredible.
interesting, Brandy, that it's so interesting. So many new coaches are who's my client? What's my niche? Like we're so busy focused on that when really first you have to know and like who you are
Yeah.
because the truth is you are so many people come to me and they're like my niche, and I'm like, stop it about your niche. I'm like, it's simple, it's not brain surgery.
Yeah.
You are here to work with people like you, same struggles, same pains, want what you want. It's actually pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to like who you are, all of those, even the struggles, and and then of course knowing your desires. And once you know that, it's pretty, that piece is taken care of. Your niche is taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But
Incredible.
then you got to get to the speaking piece, right? So who did I have to become? I had to become someone who didn't give a shit what other people thought.
Yeah.
right? And that was hard. I had a big part of me, I call it people pleaser, right? I talk about the 3 Ps: perfection, people pleasing, pretending to be superwoman, and that we need to actually,
I've been
everyone,
all of them.
yay, me too. That's why we're here together.
Yeah.
So I really had to learn how to balance those parts of me. None of them are
Hmm.
bad, but if you let your people pleaser take over, you're not going to be able to show up authentically, or you're going to run yourself into the ground. You can't
Yeah.
please everyone,
Yeah.
right? You can't please everyone. So again, you're going to be criticized. The bigger you get, expect to be criticized, expect people to say shit about you. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it's like being okay with that, like being okay with being criticized. And that is going to allow you to be seen and heard in a bigger way, therefore, easily attracting your divine clients, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's going to be people right now that are listening to me that's like, oh my God, she swore. She is not my coach. You're right.
Right.
Then I am not your coach.
Yeah.
As I do swear. Not every other word, but it comes into my vocabulary.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna try not to do that because you might not like me. And I think the other big thing that I really had to work on, the person I had to become, was I had to learn to trust myself.
Hmm.
So many of us, yeah, yes, we need coaches and we need other people to follow, but ultimately it comes down to, what is your guidance? What are you being guided to do, to speak on? Um, what your business is going to look like? It's really learning to trust yourself and your guidance. So when I say trust myself, I'm always including my something bigger, whatever you guys
Hmm.
call it, right? God, universe, baby Jesus, Buddha,
Hmm.
fill in the blank, right?
Yeah.
But it's having that connection with yourself and your something bigger, and trusting and following that. So many people are running around trying to build their business based on fear and
Mm-hmm.
scarcity. And this is what so and so did, so I need to do that too. And it's like, maybe, but you want to connect and get your guidance and really ask your heart, soul, spirit, is this this is my path? Is that what I'm meant to do?
Hmm.
So, on a daily basis, really learning to connect, trust, and follow your guidance versus all the external stuff that you're being told to do, including being run by your ego, fear-based, scarcity stuff. So,
Awesome.
that's what I have. That's who you need to become. It's that simple.
Yeah. So I just have a
Not
few more.
well. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Yeah. Just a few more questions for you. What does it mean to you to now have created consistent 10K months?
Hmm. Again, I'm probably going to come back to freedom.
Hmm.
Um, whether it's freedom to create new stuff, to have a schedule that I desire. I work 2 weeks a month,
Hmm.
and I work about 60 hours a month. So, I'm able to have that freedom. I love to travel.
Yeah.
So I love to travel. I love to go camping and hiking. I love, I'm an explorer at heart, and I love to create new things. So really having that time freedom
Hmm.
is important to me. And of course, money is tied in with that too, because if you don't have money, you can have all the time in the world, but you might not be able to do some things you want to do,
Hmm.
right? But we don't just do it for the money. I know we're talking about making 10K, but it's really, what do you really want? You really don't want 10K sitting in your bank.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you do, but you really want it because of the other things you
Right.
want.
Hmm.
It's the other things you really desire, which again, it comes back to, what do you desire? Who are you?
Yeah.
Right? What's important to you? What do you value? And for me, it's fun, it's travel, it's time to create, and make a bigger, and also for me to be a bigger contribution in the world, right? I mean, how many people have healed MS? That's kind of a big deal. So,
Yeah. That's
for me to
incredible.
be seen and heard and to get out there as much as possible. And money helps me to do that,
Sweet. So
right? Money helps me to do that.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience today that you hadn't shared yet?
I would say the last thing I'd like to share is remember, you don't have to build your business overnight.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it happens that way. But again, one of my favorite sayings is progress, not perfection.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taking those baby steps, those inspired action steps, and continuing to move forward. And if you have one of those days where you're like, oh, I made a mistake, or I don't feel like doing it, or I'm afraid to do it, it's like, just tell yourself just one little step today,
Yeah.
just one little step, and get the support that you need, right? So that would be, yeah, those would be the things I think are really important to remember, especially as a new business owner. It can
Yeah.
be really, ah,
I think
scary.
one of my mentors had actually said that we actually think that we can do more in a year. Like we plan like more in 1 year than we do for five. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that you say that. So I love it. I guess the last thing I have to ask you is what is the free gift that you have to share with everyone today?
Yes, the free gift. So I have a free gift called the Sacred Business Blueprint. And it really goes into, gosh, a little more deeply into everything that we talked about today. It's an audio lesson, and you also get one of my secret tools, which is the guided therapeutic meditation practice. So
Mm,
many people say, how did you get past your fears and your doubts? And how'd you believe in yourself? And how'd you trust yourself? And this is one of my secret tools. And a lot of you I know have heard of the law of attraction and also that our beliefs create a reality.
mm-hmm.
So it's really one of those tools that you can listen to as you go to sleep, or you can use it midday or morning as a meditation. And it helps you to plant the seeds for what you desire, but it also helps you to shift those sneaky little self limiting beliefs and
Mm-hmm.
fears that can so hold us back. That's a really big part of my coaching is to help people discover what those are and then shift them, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also a live virtual class that I'll be doing in the beginning of January for all of you who are joining me in the Sacred Business Blueprint. So,
Awesome.
in a nutshell, that's what you get, and more of
Thank
just more of my funniness as well. So,
I love it. I love it. It was an absolute pleasure getting to chat with you today and baby Jesus. So it's such a,
oh my
but
God, I don't know why it's so not PC, but that Talladega Nights movie, like when they say "Sweet Baby Jesus," I just think that is so funny.
it is cute. I love it. So it was a pleasure. I totally look forward to chatting with you in the future. And to everyone who is watching the summit, please make sure to stay tuned for the next interview. There's gonna be more juicy goodness for you guys, and I look forward to chatting with you all again tomorrow. Bye.
Yay! Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you.